Welcome to the Codes of Sisterhood, a sacred space for women to unlock the codes of connection, belonging, and feminine power. Here, we are rewriting the story and remembering what it means to rise together. We are a collective of women gathering to raise the frequency of the feminine, to code what is possible for those who will come after us. This is legacy work for the women who came before, for the women who are here now, and for the women who are yet to come. Welcome, sister. You found your way home. This is the Codes of Sisterhood. And today, our topic is going to be journaling. Why is it? I've chosen it. My name is Fraś. And as you can see, I'm a sacral generator and I got the homework from my coach to sit down and journal every day. And this is an assignment that at first I had some resistance to, and then I got really excited. Like in a minute, I got really excited. And because we've known each other for some time, and from time you mentioned this and that, my morning pages and so on, I would love to know a little bit from you. What's your experience with journaling? Does it work? How? How do you do it? Marta, go ahead. Tell me about your morning pages.
I'm coming right in hot. First of all, I love it when you open our podcast because I was like, ooh, I had all the chills, Anna. Like,
Thank you.
your voice like activated in such a beautiful way. So thank you. So I want to share, I love that we're talking about this today. I've been wanting to talk about this on my podcast for so long. I found morning pages when I was 14 years old. I've always been an avid writer. I've kept a diary forever, like ever and ever. But when I was 14, my sister moved to Las Vegas and I really wanted to stay connected to her. And so I found out about this book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron when I was 14 years old. And so I mailed her a copy of the book and I kept my copy of the book. And we did the morning pages together. And it's been a part of my rituals now, on and off in my life for so long. And until about last year, I really, really started dedicating myself to it. So I'll wake up at 6 a.m. or 6:30 and I will immediately drag my ass out of bed and throw on a cover and I write 3 pages of freehand every morning. Like
What do you
with
write? What do you
so
mean freehand?
freehand, and this is something, writing is always a part of my work. It's a part of the grief work. It's part of everything. Freehand is essentially when free writing is essentially you put your pen to the paper and you don't pick it up. You literally just let whatever flows come through you and you don't worry about what you're saying. So if you are just saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, that's okay. It's like meditation. It's like the practice of meditation that I teach my students. It is literally like you are taking out the trash. You are taking out the trash when you write over and over and over again. And then something comes through that you just don't realize will come out of your pen. So you ask, like, I don't know. I love journaling. I love writing. I'm big into letter writing. I got all the wax seals, like all the wax seals.
Oh, I want a letter from you now. Oh my
Oh,
God.
I already thought about that with you ladies. Yes, I need your addresses. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I was already plotting that with every one of you. I have quills, I have stamps, I have like, I am such a nerd about paper and the intimacy of letter writing. And
Right,
so,
Marta. But let's get to the point. So you
yes,
say
the
you put
point.
pen to paper, and then immediately I thought, doodling. Like a line, and then maybe a sun and flower and a little dog. What do you mean? You put your pen to paper, and
Put your pen to
what are the
paper.
words? Because you write in words, right?
Oh, yes, but you literally write whatever comes through for you in the morning. You can use a prompt. Oftentimes there's prompts. So it's a question like, what did I say recently? Like, when I let go is a prompt. It's a really powerful prompt. Like, when I let go, and then you just write whatever comes from that prompt or whatever you want to write about. Or maybe you want to just start writing about what you did over the weekend so that you can remember it and encapsulate it and, like, you know, reintegrate it into your life.
Or what do I feel today?
Yeah, how do I feel today? The benefits of it that I have seen are my ideas get out of here and they move through me, through my hand, and they come onto paper.
Do you have an undefined head center?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
That's really cool. Really, really cool.
The end.
The end. Amazing.
Yeah. Aga, go ahead. You wanted to
Oh
say
my God.
something.
Yeah. Oh, I love journaling. I love, love, love journaling. And it's so funny because I also always wrote. When I was a kid, I was writing poetry and I was writing stories and all those things. And I kept like a diary, but I got really traumatized actually
Did
with it
someone steal it?
because no, I actually gave it. So I had a dispute with a friend, and it was already in high school, and it was full of very personal things, like really personal things. And as well, the way I was writing was very specific. Sometimes I would like tear the picture apart and put it like it was my whole kind of expression of myself. And I had this dispute, and I wanted to show her that I trust her, and I gave her my diary to read, and she shared it with the whole world. And it crushed my soul. It crushed my soul back then. And it kind of got me very funny for a very long time. But I wanted to tell you that um, we started talking with that friend some time ago, and now we are so close. It's crazy. We just needed 20 years to kind of get over that. But going back to writing, it's so I went back to it when I started my journey, like my inner work journey. So it was probably around, I don't know, 13 years ago. As well, I heard about The Artist Way, which is incredible book, and I started doing my morning pages, and I've used them non-stop without a break for 6.5 years, every single morning. And I've done it with the prompts, without the prompts, with some deep contemplations, with frustration, with anger, with literally forgiveness, anything was coming through. And it's such a beautiful way. And then I start using it
Aga, sorry.
mostly.
Why is it beautiful?
It's
Tell me.
beautiful because it's starting to connect you to yourself on such a deep level. You're starting to hear yourself completely differently. You're allowing your voice to come through the noise. You're starting to hearing yourself completely differently, and you start to relate to yourself differently. And I start using that very consciously after a while, because then I started to give myself a voice with an intention. And after each time I wrote, I was speaking to myself in a way that I wanted to be spoke to. So I was telling myself, and I still do that. Every time I finish my morning pages, I said, Aga, I love you so much. You are so incredible. I'm so happy that I can walk with you in this life. I'm so happy that you're sharing all those things with me. This is so incredible. So I shower myself with love, and that helped me to rebuild this very close relationship with myself. So I used that to that, and then I had a break when my daughter was born. I had a break from writing, and now I'm back to it again every day. And when you have a small kids, you cannot just get up sometimes and write because they're all over you.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
started to be flexible with that as well. If I can, straight away after I wake up, I do. Sometimes I write with my daughter on my knees. Sometimes I write after I get them breakfast, and that's okay. The point is that I made a promise to myself and I show up for myself, because that's the whole point about it, showing up
Okay.
to yourself.
Aga, can I ask you a question? Because what you said struck me really strongly, because that's what I experienced myself. So the act of writing is like exercising your freedom, like choosing. That's what I want to say to myself. And you say it to yourself.
At the end, yes, but I also allow whatever comes through come true, because that's a very important thing. Because throughout our lives, very
Okay.
often our voice was silenced,
Mm.
right? Either by others or by ourselves. And this practice allowing you to reconnect to that voice and allowing this voice to start coming through again the way that it wants to come out. So unfiltered, uncensored, like just the way it is. And sometimes, you know, I could write like, oh, I fucking hate that. I don't want to be here. I don't want to fucking write now. I don't want to do any of these things. And I would write that until I was like, oh, actually, and then very often it's like, oh, 3 pages. I just wrote 7. Time to go.
So it's like a trampoline. You write something and then you can, because it's in front of you, you can sort of react to it, choose differently.
Yeah,
I
like
love
Marta said, like sometimes you just write whatever until
until you change.
Something comes out, because you like kind of clearing the mental kind of garbage and sometimes also this inner critic. Just let it whatever, just say what you have to say, and I'm here, I'm listening to you, I see it, I witness you. And then out of a sudden it's like, okay, I feel better now. There are other stuff that I want to share,
Okay.
you know.
Right? Maria, go ahead. I'd
Wow.
like to know
I love
something
I,
from
I
you.
love the passion that you ladies are bringing into this. I gotta say, I'm feeling a little confronted in this conversation because I've gone through spaces where like I journal and I'm like, yes, and then I don't. And right now, like I haven't journaled for I think it's been like a good, like journaling consistently and just putting my thoughts. I haven't done it in at least a year or over a year. I don't even remember. But
Maria,
what I want
it's a relief for me. I don't journal every day. It's a challenge for me. So I'm relieved you
you
have.
know what? I don't know what's up with me. I don't know what it is, but like I'll start journaling and I'll journal in one book, and I have like 20 different books, and they're like a third done, half done, like 3 pages done, and then I move on to the next book. It's like, but what I want to say
I
about
love that. It's a free expression.
it's completely free, so it's like it takes a life of its own, and I'm okay with that. I love all the different books that I have, and what I love about journaling that I've experienced is 2 things. One, I'm able to go back and read some of my thought processes from like 7 years ago, 10 years ago. I remember that I found this one book where I wrote a letter. So when I was in the middle of like the worst part of my relationship with my ex-husband, and it was really toxic and whatever, and I had connected through my business. I had connected with a coach, and she's like, oh, can I give you a free session? She did. And I went and I read an email that I wrote to her, and then a letter that I wrote, and like I felt the passion, and not only the passion, but like the desire of that young woman who just wanted to break free and she wanted to change her life, but also the frustration that she had zero clue how. Like, I mean, zero. And not only that, but she didn't feel strong enough to even take a next step. And I remember like it took a good 3-4 years before anything changed. But the thing is, like, to be able to go and see, and then from this woman that I am today, be able to just like energetically wrap my arms around her and tell her, my gosh, I'm so proud for you even taking one small step. And so that's one thing. And another thing is that a friend of mine introduced writing love letters to myself.
I
Years
love this. I love it.
I have written several love letters to myself and mailed them to me. And then whenever I felt like, yeah, you write the love letter, then you mail it to yourself. So you're getting this love letter by mail, and you're like,
Oh, Oh, and you can put like a rose petals. I saw the whole thing already. It's like, oh.
Yes, that's what that's what I did. And then also the fact that I received it, and then whenever I felt, down or disempowered, like I would save some of them and open them when I really needed to hear some loving words, and to know that it came from my soul and that it came to me from me. Like we often pour our souls out for other people and we leave ourselves last. We don't even think about pouring into our own selves. So for me, that has always been a really fantastic thing. I'm actually going to write one today and mail it out to myself because
I love that.
I invite all of you, and I invite our audience to write a love letter to yourself, like as if you're writing to like the love of your life, because guess what? You are. And then like Aga said, put rose petals or stickers, anything that makes you feel luxurious and makes you feel loved and makes you feel like excited to receive it, and mail it out to yourself, and share with us in the comments what you got from the experience. How was it for you? However it is, sometimes it was confronting for me.
Maria, Maria, give me a prompt. Give me a prompt to anyone who is feel like, what should I write? A love letter to myself. What should I put there? Give me a prompt.
It's like a free flow, but I would say I would start it like for me, like, dear Maria, like I really appreciate, like I want to let you know everything that I appreciate about who you are and how you navigate everything that shows up, all the challenges that show up in life, and also all the beautiful things. Like I just want to express to you my gratitude, and I want to tell you what I love and I appreciate about you and who you are.
Yeah. And another prompt that came to me was what I want for you, my dear love, Anya.
Oh,
Okay.
yes,
What I want for you, my dear me. Okay.
oh,
Thank you.
I love
Thank you.
that. I love that. Oh my God. Guys, when Maria said about going back and reading your journals, you know what I've done? And I still feel very strongly about it. When I was pregnant, I went through Marie Kondo phase and I've cleaned everything. And I had tens and tens of journals in my house, tens of them. And when I was going through all those papers, I had this urge, was like, okay, I think it's time to start letting go. I feel like I'm holding on to so much because I was still like I moved from Ireland to France and I wanted to go back to Ireland for so long. And I was pregnant, I was still kind of in between that energy, and I was thinking like, oh my God, I think I want my baby to be born with all my really close friends in Ireland. I want her to have experiences like my boys had. And I was kind of in this in between place. And I felt like actually, and there was so much wisdom in it, and I still feel good. I was sitting on the floor with cross-legged, and I was like ripping the pages out of all the journals and just ripping them apart. And I gave I gave them to my friend to burn them in her fireplace. And I felt so free. And now, when I came back to writing, for now I have those journals. For how long, I have no idea, but it was a very interesting way to let go of certain things with love as well. I know what I was reading. I know how it helped me to move through things. And I was going back to those journals before. And then I cut the cord. I cut the energetical cord, and it was very interesting process.
Thank you.
Wow.
This is something. Now, Maria, are you complete? Because I want to call on
Yes.
Jenny. Jennifer, you said that you have a collection of notebooks. Tell me what's in them.
I do. And I just want to say thank you for calling me Jenny, because nobody does that except for my late grandmom. And her presence has been with me. So thank you. That was special. I want to just piggyback too on what August said. So I have this, I've written, like you said, I think it was Aga, you said, like, I used to do like poetry and write. I've been writing ever since I was a kid. And I would write like from a library book, a poetry book that I had. I would write down all the poems because like I knew I had to return the book at the end of the year, so I would write them so I could like read them all summer long and stuff. I was that chick, and so writing for me feels therapeutic. And also, I want to share like a twist on this a little bit because once I started understanding the law of attraction, um there was a lot of people say it's like what you speak, what you write, like spelling, words are spells, the whole vibe. Like, so I started feeling resistance when I would be in courses or masterminds or things like that, and they would give us journal prompts that were feeling like looking at your shadow shit, you know what I mean? Like looking at the hard stuff or the negative thoughts that you believed about money or about yourself or about relationships or whatever. I would feel so much resistance to writing that down because I was like, yeah, I don't like I'm already in it. I want to write something down that's going to transform this, not realizing that actually in the writing it down, it is a transformation. And so for me, one of the practices that I have now is like, Aga, I did this. I went through this phase. I had so many journals of such a freaking hard part of my life. And I get emotional just thinking about it. But it was like a lifeline for me to just get it out. And then I grew and I expanded a bunch. And when I would look back and read it, I would feel so much love for her. And also, I was like, you know what? I want to release this like for good. I want to like not just get it out, but just transmute it. And I put bunches of journals in a bonfire. And I just like shared so much, like sent so much love to the version of me who wrote it. And then the version of me who's like, yeah, like this is so far removed from your understanding now and what you believe and know now that you really just get to let it all the way go. You know what I mean? And so now I don't resist exercises that are like uncomfortable in like writing something down, and I don't get overly, oh my God, if I write it down, it's going to come true immediately. You know what I mean? It's going to seal in the deal. You know what I mean? So I've kind of let that go. But what I do is I do burn it. I do burn it. I'll write it down. I'll get it out and I burn it if it's something that I feel like is heavier. That just works for me. And the other thing that I've practiced is it's not really journaling as much as it is scripting is what it was called. And I learned this from Abraham Hicks teachings. And it was like basically you write your day how you want it to go. And I did this for years. I mean, religiously. I would not like, and then I would get ahead of the game. Like instead of writing in the morning, I would like write at night so I could like wake up to this day. You know what I mean? And I would write so much. I mean, big 8.5 by 11 notebooks, like not these little, like big notebooks, right? I had a lot to say, and I would fill up the front and the back. And then there would be like no, like there's no, maybe we should take a picture. I don't know if you guys feel comfortable with that, but anyway, the point is there was no white space on the paper, like none. I wrote it all, and I did that for probably 6 or 7 years, like never missed, maybe 1% of days something fluke happened. But and then I just like I got away from doing that, and this call is making me see like, because it started to get too much of routine. It started having like a have to do it. And so for me, I was like, this have to is like is counterproductive to what I'm wanting to accomplish. So like I let it down. But this call is making me like just kind of reconsider like, do I get to do it? Like, does it feel like something that because I still have some of those, and I go back and I look, and what's really fun for me about those journals is I get to see the common thread. Like through all these years, I have wanted to just serve. You know what I mean? Like through all these years, I just want to remind people of their power. You know what I mean? Through all these years, my heart has just been for love and growth and compassion. And I'm like, dang, girl, like in the hardest parts of my life, I'm looking at that and seeing that that has always been my goal. It's not something brand new. Like it's always been in my heart and soul to serve and to show up in a way that is beneficial for everybody involved and remind people of their power. And so for me, like if I never would have wrote that down, I think I forget, you know? I mean, there's things in my life that I've manifested. I'm like, dang, I forgot that I even set intentions for that. You know what I mean? Like, and here it is, you know?
You wouldn't
So,
know. You wouldn't know. Jennifer,
yeah.
this is so incredibly moving because just before you started talking about that, my question was, so did it work? Did it work? And then you said this incredible thing that through those journals, you get to know yourself.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
still, did it work?
I mean, I would say, did it work is a relative, but I feel like yes, there's been a lot of growth and evolution. Like the me that I am reading those things that I scripted about, like I said, there's that common thread, and I still want and hold that passion now stronger more than ever. And also the way that I worded things, I think, has definitely changed and worked to the aspect of I've let go of the need to prove. That was really relevant and really present. I mean, in those, older entries. And now it's just like experiencing myself without the need for edit, without the need for apology, without the need for, excuse. Just really being present with myself as is, and that is, I feel like, that is a gift, so
Absolutely.
it worked in
Thank you.
that regard. Yeah, you're welcome.
This is like incredibly deepening, like because what it means that something works when you script your future and then suddenly you are just a mature person. It's not, it doesn't work like a spell, but it works like a deep work, like a spell which is deeper than deep. So thank you for that, Jennifer. Anything to add to that? Are you complete?
I mean, I would just say anybody listening, like, to you get to not put so much pressure on yourself. Like people sometimes when I share about journaling, it's like, oh, I'm not a writer, or I don't spell good, or I got nosy family members. Like there's so many different things, and underneath all of that is just resistance. And if you could just really tap into that and realize that you can just write one sentence. Like if you just wrote one sentence a day, today was a blah day, I hate my job or something. Like it doesn't have to be super uber spiritual. I think sometimes like when we think of journaling, we think of, oh, I must write all these beautiful poetic words and I must, just be eloquent. No, like you just get today was shitty and I'm glad I'm going to bed. Close your journal, go to bed. Like there's like you get to be human in your journal. There's nobody freaking grading it. And sometimes I think that like maybe from school, there might be this trauma, about writing. And I'm just like, this is a thing for you. Like nobody ever has to see it. You could write and then burn. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but give it a shot for yourself. Like try it for, 7 days, 21 days, whatever.
Yeah.
And just see. And if it doesn't work, be like those people were crazy and never pick up a journal again. But if it does work, now you have a new tool of self-discovery,
and owning your life.
Yeah.
And owning your life. I immediately related to what you said because I had this practice like in the morning, I wrote the date and it felt like, God, this is my day. I am deciding this is this date today. It's my Sunday or it's my Wednesday. Marta.
I love all these. I love this conversation. I could talk about this for hours, but I just want to piggyback on what everybody has said and something that has really helped me in my journaling. Like sometimes, you know, if I'm talking to my mentor and I have like a day where I'm not feeling like I am ahead, or we've all had this feeling that we've like slunk back into something, right? Or this feeling that our past was like so much better than right now. Like you had all your shit together in your past. Like you were just this perfect like little bubble in your past. And you know, there's this feeling of like, oh, like have I kind of, am I making my past like so much better than it is right now? We have these memories of this. And it's so cathartic to me sometimes to open my journal and see like I had pain, I had suffering, I had shit that was like, it just shows you how far you've come. And the quality, like someone mentioned here, like the quality of the writing, oh my God, from my past till now is so, I mean, it's just so different. The way that I write, the like just the words that come out effortlessly, not because they are forced, is huge. So I wanted to mention that. It's huge. The second thing I want to mention is I heard a lot of people saying like coming in and out of it is the flow of life. Like if you're not writing right now, if you're not journaling, you're making space for something different. That's it. Like there's just more space for something different to come in. And then the last thing that I'll mention, and man, I almost didn't want to mention it, but like I got on a personal note really, really scared of my writing because I started predicting things. And I didn't know, like not all of them were great. They weren't great predictions. And I didn't even remember what I wrote. And I put a really big pause on that for a long time because of it. Um, and yeah, like a really big pause. And now I'm in a place where I'm not afraid of it anymore. Like I'm not afraid of what comes through. I know that I can co-create with spirit. Like I know that I can literally just be like, hey, I don't want to hear any of the bad prediction stuff. Thank you. Like I'm good. But it like for me personally, writing is a gateway to spirituality and connection with whatever you believe in. Like I'm a firm believer that creativity is the gateway like to that. Um, so like if anybody's listening to this and they're scared of that, I really do feel like that's why we numb, that's why we disassociate, that's why we don't do this stuff, but that it's not something to be feared and that there's tools out there.
Yeah.
For
So thank you. Thank you for bringing it up because we return to it, to the theme of ritual. Writing is a ritual. So can you, Marta, can you just pinpoint one thing? How is writing different just from speaking with the divine?
you mean speaking like out loud?
Like speaking or just thinking or just praying, like how
I
is it?
feel it's so strange, but I feel the fact that the writing has to come from like it has to travel. Like it travels through
For
your
your
body
body?
and out your arm. Like there is just something so sacred about it. And I will say like for me such a big part of it. I will also say, because I'm going to leave right after this because I have another meeting, but having a loved one's handwritten note after they have passed, or their journals after they have passed, is one of the most precious gifts that you can give yourself. Like, I opened my sister's journals and she's alive again. Like, she held a pen and a pencil, and like, to see like her energy or her sorrow or her tears or her joy, like, oh my God, it brings her back to life.
It
So
does.
I would encourage anyone to keep a journal. And we're always afraid somebody's going to find it. I think that's just a part of our humanness. Like, who would be so lucky to find my fucking journals?
Oh yeah.
Like, my God.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies. I love you.
Thank you. Thank you. And when you were speaking about a note from your sister, it is a true connection of the spirit, because there's the words under the body, because there's the hand.
Yes.
like-
And
Marta,
I believe it's a loop. I believe it's a loop. Like, I open up stuff and she has written something for me that I needed to read today.
before you go, I just want to say thank you, Marta, because you just reminded me of the last like letter that my mom wrote. Like, I have it. And like the last thing that I have from my mother that she wrote. And it was confronting because my mom and I didn't speak for the last 2 years of our life. So I never saw her. And then she passed, but I have this, and I have her writing. And so I really connect to that. Thank you for bringing that alive for me again.
God,
I love you.
Marta. Yeah, that was so beautiful, Marta. And thank you so much for telling us all about that, because it evokes so many things in me. But the fact that you just told us, there is the magic of writing, that sometimes things are coming, you don't know even from which place, and allowing that is incredible. And it's a loop. It's a loop. And I kind of, through journaling, what I personally discovered is really that time is not linear, because I can see clearly that the way I learned to speak to myself while I was journaling, that was something that was coming through to me in my darkest times. And it took me, the journaling to reconnect to there's been times in my life that have been very dark, and it was always something pulling me out. And I realized it was always me going back to me, reaching out to me with my love, holding me in those moments. And that makes me also really emotional, because it's so beautiful. It was always me. I didn't know what was it, what stopped me, what saved me. It was always me and my love. And this is such an incredible way. Like, it's going so deep, but also like, well, what Jenny said as well, it's like, it's just allowing yourself to speak, to vent, because this is the part of that voice being really silenced, being really grabbed here, that we sometimes don't allow ourselves to express ourselves to ourselves, and this is the place where you can start relearning how to do it, that you are your own safe space, that you can and you're allowed to say how you feel, because you've got a right to feel however you feel, and that you can witness yourself, and that you can hold yourself in it, and you can love yourself in it. And this is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's the same as with tapping. The first round of tapping, it's always venting, because we need to allow those things to be said. We have to allow them to, because otherwise we just keep swallowing them and packing them back in our body. So, oh my goodness.
Thank you
Yeah.
for this. It's like if you want to let something go, you have to let it out first. And then it all makes so much sense because, you know, when you're just alone with yourself and you don't speak to yourself because that's kind of weird, you don't experience this, who should I love? Because, well, it's just me, but I am just nothing special or just nothing. I can't see myself. So what Jennifer said about learning to or growing to know this special person that is you, and then listening to yourself and then speaking to yourself. When you write it down, it's like it allows you to see yourself. It allows you to feel this kind of special thing that we humans have, the relationship that you have with yourself. Because it's true, it's only us who have a relationship with ourselves. You know, inanimate objects just are, that's it. And then to see that, to experience that I can talk to myself, like I am a person, because sometimes we forget that we are also somebody. Okay.
And this is the way. This is the way to get in touch with that. That's like you said, to learn to see yourself. And then through that, you're really rediscovering and remembering how incredible, how precious, how lovable you are. This is the tool to help you to see yourself again.
Yeah, and you see your own genius, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then it's just so much easier to be like, oh my God, you are so awesome. I'm obsessed with you.
Maria.
I love that. And I love the passion with which you shared it, Aga. And just to say that this is the way to get to see yourself, to get to love yourself, to get to. So what came through for me as you were saying that is, you know, when we get into romantic relationships, we want to have conversations and we want to listen to the other person, when we want to get to know them, we want to discover them. And this is the way for us to discover ourselves, to go to a deeper level of that relationship. And like everyone has been sharing, when we get these words out, when we express them, it is a form of healing. It's a form of releasing. It's a form of allowing and just emptying ourselves out, so that with that blank canvas, we can create something else. We can create something new. And for me, like as we've been weaving in the conversation about how when we put pen to paper, we can manifest things, like things come to be. And I've actually manifested a few men into my life, like a few relationships through that, like describing like every detail of how I want the relationship to go, what this man is in my life, and like the whole bit, like actually my current relationship. That's how, like, by expressing myself and with the words, feeling that desire and feeling the open heart of like, I welcome you into my life. I desire you to walk into my life. I want to build with you. I want to create with you. I want to share with you. And so, yeah, it's such a powerful way of self-expressing. And like all of this is reminding me of the different ways that I write, because I've also written some erotic poems, I mean. And like, you know, when I'm in that deliciousness of pleasure, and I put pen to paper and I like write this beautiful, yeah, just word
Okay.
self into another, in you know, in pleasure and in passion. And so I think it is so divine, and it's so powerful, and it's so special for us to, at whatever stage we're at in life, to be able to express ourselves and to be able to yeah, see the different parts of who we are.
Thank you. Yes, and it sounds like writing can fuel your desire, because very often we are told like amplify your desire. How do you do that? You write it down.
Yes.
You elaborate on it. You just fuel it with words, and they carry energy.
And for me, it allows me to slow it down, like I simmer it down, and I can elongate, that desire, the pleasure, the whatever it is that wants to come out. Like it's a way of being able to just like delight in it. And because we could be writing and then we go into thought and then we continue writing, and it's just that release and slowing down the process. Like it doesn't have to look in any way. It's about making it our own, because it's our intimate sharing with ourselves. It's such an intimate expression of our souls.
Savoring
Savoring,
every
yes.
word, every moment. Love that.
And choosing it, and choosing exactly what you want, and learning what you want, and then and yeah. And it's done with your body, right? Because you write it down, and it's physical, and it's sensual. Jennifer, I can see you.
Yeah, Maria, you just reminded me. I have found journals like where I wrote down about this lover that I wanted. And just recently, I was like, wow, there's so, like, every single thing wasn't on there, but there were so many on there. And I was like, holy crap, like, I wrote it down and I manifested it, and so many different things. And I know it's like we've been focusing on like on the journaling and things like that as like getting things out and releasing, but you've reminded me of the writing stuff down to manifest and how much I've done that. And the other thing, I don't know, y'all remember in school, sometimes, or maybe your parents did it. I had it both places, but like if I was a talker in class, so sometimes I would get in trouble for that. You know what I mean? And then I would have to write, I will not talk in class 50 times and turn it in either to my mom or to my teacher. Y'all know what I'm saying? So there was power in that. Like, obviously, I didn't like the assignment, but as an adult and now, I have written the same thing over and over and over and over and over. You know what I mean? It is safe for me to be seen. It is safe for me to be seen. It is safe for me to be seen. Like over and over and over, so that I can rewire my psyche, because I'm not the scientist that knows like all of the, facts about it, but I do know that there is a correlation between writing things down, like how it can rewire and reshape things in your brain. You know what I mean? So there are interesting aspects to this writing that is so multidimensional. It's not just one benefit. There's so many benefits of it that it's worth giving it a shot. You know what I mean? And so yeah, that's just what I would encourage. Give it a shot and see how it goes. If you don't want to start with writing your deepest feelings, start with writing some things you want to manifest. Maybe that's your entry point into journaling. But just maybe you want to write down, one sentence over and over. Maybe that's your entry point. But my encouragement would just be to find an entry point and pick up the pen and write something down.
That's great. Jennifer, I would like to ask you, so how do you experience that? Because I've tried it as well. And my experience is that when I repeat a sentence, it kind of stirs something in me, and I'm led to change it, to tweak it, how I feel it. So it's like with every other line, I just tweak it, I change it, something changes in me, I change the sentence, I sort of refine it, it means something else. So it's not like repeating, 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 and it's not mechanical at all. It's like I respond to it. And how do you feel about it? What's your
Yeah.
experience?
I've actually had like emotional responses to writing the things down so that, like it is safe for me to be seen is huge. It is safe for me to be
Yes.
heard. Like those two right there, I have literally wept on the paper to where the ink is you couldn't read it. You know what I mean? Because it unlocked something in me. It was a release of, you know, maybe not even just this lifetime, but definitely in this lifetime. A release of that fear of being seen, of that fear of being heard, and the danger associated with it. So it was like I felt like it was unlocking something subconsciously. That's why I gave, reference to it rewires stuff in the brain, and trauma does that too. So to have a tool for me, that's how I experience it, is like it's a tool for even, like more self-awareness, but writing things down over and over and over, like the same thing, depending on what it is. But I have done what you're saying too, is like as I write it, I feel the shift. But what came up for me when you were saying that is like sometimes in my life, I haven't wanted to stay with the thing long enough to feel the shift or see the shift because the shift felt like uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it would be easier to shift up or to switch up or to change, you know what I mean? To avoid like really going deep. But for me, like just staying on that same train of thought, it is safe for me to be seen. It is safe for me to be seen. And then fluctuating, it is safe for me to be seen. You know what I mean? Like, not just it is safe for me, like, but really feeling, and then maybe I would switch it up to I am safe to be seen. You know what I mean? Like just refining that same thought process, that same, code that wants to really imprint on my being, So
Yeah.
yeah.
It just feels like owning those words and learning learning, like finding the voice that could say them with the full resonance of your physical body. Yeah, so when Aga spoke about finding your voice, I had this thought like, come on, it's not your voice. You're not using your vocal cords, you're just writing. But then I got reconnected to it. Jenny, when you said staying with it and allowing it to rewire you. And then, yes, it sort of sounds like you create that voice within you, the voice that could say them. And there is so much power in your voice, by the way, Jennifer. I'm sure this journaling gives the power to your voice. You just learned it, you just got it. Maybe from there. All right.
Mhm.
So, on an ending note, I would like to share with you one experience that I had with journaling, because what came to me is one of the most important things is that uh, when memories come back to us, they are messengers. And sometimes when you remember things, it's like a bit patchy. It sort of comes and goes and then it returns. So one of the most powerful things that happened to me, I just wrote down one of my memories, my childhood memory, a question that I asked my mom. I asked my mom once, "Mom, am I pretty?" What I really meant was, "Mom, am I beautiful?" But I was ashamed. And I said, "Mom, am I pretty?" And she said, "Anya, you're my child." Full stop. And she said nothing else. And for years and years and years, I believe that meant something like, "What can I say? You're my child. You're not very pretty, but you are my child, so I love you. Okay, you're fine." Something like that. And it happened a year ago, 2 years ago, something like this. I sat down and I wrote it. And then what came to me was that my mom really couldn't speak. Like she didn't know what to say. And what I did, I wrote the thing that she would have said if she knew how, if she had the words, if she had the time, if she had the presence. And what came through was so beautiful. It was something like, "You are my child, so you're absolutely beautiful. But I cannot use this word because it's like a bit like judgment. So even before any judgment comes, you are the light of my life. What can I say? You are my child." And that really changed it for me. I changed this memory.
That's beautiful, Anna.
So beautiful. And you know what is really amazing, Anna, is like, I cannot tell you how many times during this call, like, I don't know if our audience has seen you on the video or not, but I don't know how many times during this call I have looked at you and said in my mind, wow, she is so beautiful. Your skin, your glow, your eyes, like you are radiant, you know? And yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you. And that is a beautiful, beautiful gift that you have just given all of us. And I want to encourage those listening. I know I'm going to do it, to rewrite memories, like things that people have said, you know, like what would they have said if they could, or what would they have said from a healed version, you know? That I haven't heard it quite like that. And so you have really just given all of us and our audience such a gift with that. So thank you. Yeah, I was so
Powerful.
moved by that.
Thank you. I do believe it came through for me, but also for all of us. Because I do believe that our parents, our moms saw that, even if for a short period of time, but they saw it, saw the miracles that we were as kids and are now. And thank you, Jennifer, for saying that, because that matters. That matters. Okay. Anything to add? Are we
Just
finishing?
the fact that that episode was just exquisite. There's so many tools here. It's not only a journaling. There's so many things here that we can really help ourselves to release, rewrite, reconnect, see, reclaim, and remember. That was really incredible.
Thank you, sisters. Thank you, sisters. It's most incredible that I asked this question and then I got such responses. Impossible. And thank you, you sister, listening to us, for coming, for giving us your attention. And whatever you do, put your pen to paper. Thank you for joining us inside the codes of sisterhood. may you carry these codes into your life. Seeing, loving, and rising with your sisters. Until next time, remember, we rise remembering who we are together. All the love, all the power.